Did you watch the OU game and what concerns you after they beat Tech?
Yeah, I watched that. They played really well, and it was a close game, and then they distanced themselves big time the last 5 minutes. But they played really well. They attacked Tech beautifully. I mean, they did a great job of skipping the ball and doing some things that took advantage of the way Tech loads up on one side, and really did a nice job. So, and then of course Gibson was terrific.
You've seen him a lot. You've seen him capable of doing that in the past. How much better is he today than when he first got into the league?
Well, I only seen him when we played him, but he's definitely better. I mean, he's I thought he was a specialist when we first tried to guard him, and I don't see him being a specialist now. I see him more as being a complete player, so to speak, and he's driving the ball better, and certainly he doesn't need any time to get it off, and he can play off his shot fake as well as anybody. But he's a dangerous shooter.
Coach, I got a couple.
Save the one, lock him up.
I don't know that we will do that, but I do think that we actually did a good job on him the first time. I do think that he's a guy that you can have closeouts with. You need to be there on the catch. So if there's an offensive rebound or anything like that, you're immediately running to him to try to eliminate as many of those type of looks. He'll get some off offense or how you guard ball screens or whatever, but you can't let him. You can't give him those transition and offensive rebound opportunities.
Coach, he had 30. Coach, he had 30 Coach, he had 30 the other night. He scored 24 in the 3 games against you, just 5 threes in those 3 games. Was there any kind of a common thread what you did defensively against Gibson in those 3 games?
That was kind of what Matt just asked, but I would say I don't know if there's a common thread because if I were going to go back and say he only made 5 threes in 3 games, I would say that we got lucky because I guarantee he was open more than 5 times. But like I said earlier, just not allowing him to have as space where if you can play off a closeout, that means you can lift a guy and then attack a bad closeout or whatever. We want to be guarding him so you don't have to run at him. That would be a goal of ours, I'm sure. But the bottom line is you can have those goals all you want to, and that doesn't mean you execute them and do it right.
He's got that little fake shot, sidestep 3. Is that unique to him? Do you see that a lot? How do you defend it? He got a bunch of defenders to leave their feet the other night.
Yeah, he did. And he had a little bit of space, which forced guys to run at him. And you would think with a guy, I don't know how tall he is, a legit 6'1", 6'2", 6'1". I'm bad at heights. So as Barry Henson used to say, if they were taller than him, he just called them all tall. But he was 5'7", so that was pretty easy to do. But he's probably 6'1", and the thing about Tech is everybody that guarded him was in that 6'5", 6'6" range. And so for him to be able to lift somebody and sidestep it or whatever you described it as, I think is pretty impressive. They can still get a shot off. So yeah, we got to be conscious of that. The big thing is not get lifted.
How has Dave done over the last about 2 weeks? Physically, just on the court and managing foot as well.
I think he's done okay. Yeah, I think Dave's done well. He's not quite 100%, but he's not going to let that stop him from playing. But I think Dave has done well. He took a pretty hard fall against Texas on his knee, but he's responded well to that and everything. So, I anticipate him being 100%. But I do think Dave has played better the last several games. Going back to post Kentucky, I would say that he's been a good player for us, and one in which we needed him to be able to have a chance to win. So I know we hadn't won all the games. We lost it in Austin, obviously, but I still thought Dave was one of our better performers in Austin.
What do you attribute that to? Why have you been better? Any idea?
I don't know. His attitude's always great, and sometimes he just played better, and other times maybe he's a little bit more confident. But I just think he's been his activity level's been better, and he's rebounded the ball pretty well. No. Well, make sure you explain. Could have. You made a decision back when in the first half of the season. Yeah, that was still an option. Yes. I don't know. Remy's not at 100%, so I don't know. So.
What about the other injured guys? Remy, Zach, any returnees?
Zach is practiced yesterday full speed for the first time. So, but that's one practice and being out a month. But yeah, he or 3 weeks, whatever it's been. I think it's been a month. But yeah, he looked good yesterday in his role, and there's nothing new with Remy's situation. Doing rehab and doing all that stuff daily.
What kind of discussion do you have with those guys about that strategy when teams face guard him? I mean,
we've worked on it. Yeah, we worked on it. I thought Umoja actually played well against Texas. I mean, this kind of goes without saying, but it'd be nice if you didn't have to play 38 minutes being face guarded and still having to get open and working that hard to get open. But we need to have some guys on the bench probably be a little bit more consistent and play a little better and me to have confidence even to play them after maybe they're not very consistent. But I thought Oaks actually did well, and we certainly worked on some things since then.
What is your take on the Big 12 standings heading into the weekend?
Well, we're still in good shape. Obviously there's 3 more teams in play that you can make a strong case to say if they won out or whatever, they'd win the league. I mean, that would be the case. If any of those 3 teams won out, you can make a case that they'll be hard to beat, because that means they would have, with the exception of Tech, that means they would have had to beat us. So then that gives us, another loss or whatever. So we're still in good shape though. And you guys have studied this league. There's not been too many teams that have just dominated this league wherever they played. Everybody's vulnerable when you play teams that are as good as they are in our league. And I mean, you look at Oklahoma, what's Porter and them now? Are they 4-7? And everybody in this room knows they're better than 4-7. I mean, they just beat a top 12. No, Tech was 10 or 9. Worse than anybody has dealt with them all year long. And one going away. So they're more than capable of getting on a run and winning a ton of games. It may not be in the cards for them to win the league, but it is in the cards for them to for sure have a chance to be above 500 in our league, and above 500 in our league will get you probably a top 5 or 6 seed for sure. So there's a lot of good teams out there like that. But that was impressive what OU did to Tech on what day was it? Was it Wednesday? Yeah, that was impressive what they did.
What do you think of the 1971 Jayhawks?
Well, believe it or not, Gary, you're the only one here that saw them play live. Okay, so I didn't actually see them play live. You didn't? When did you start working here? 79. Okay, so you're obviously a lot older than everybody else. But what's that?
No, I didn't.
I would have been. I know of those players, and certainly have great respect for all of them. And I know Coach Owens is coming back too, and there's all kinds of festivities that's going on, and I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool that team, the 74 team, and any other team that comes back is honored, because we just lost a member of the 52 team this past week, and Bill Linhart. And you stop and look about look who was on that team and the impact they had on this university, the impact they had on the game in general. I mean, that'll be the only team ever that wins a national championship. Then they go win a gold medal right after that. I mean, and that was special. But to keep doing these things and honoring these special teams, I think is very important, because let's just be real. You know, Coach Owens is, you know, Coach Owens 92, 93 years old now. And he can still probably beat everybody in the room in golf, but he's still 92, 93. And any opportunity for those guys to get together, I think is fantastic. And we should all honor them every opportunity we get.
One thing, that team got caught in the UCLA dynasty. UCLA won their 5th title that year. Does that amaze you that they rattled out 5 to 8 in a row?
They won 10 out of 12. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. But so was Alcindor and Walton and some of those other dudes too. They were pretty amazing as well. All right, guys, I got to run. See you guys.